Okay, so that one says, what is the equation of the vertical line that passes through 6 and negative 2? So I should have a coordinate plane on here. I thought I did. I thought I had a coordinate plane. I think I do. You know what? Forget it. I know I have one, but I can't find it right now. Anyway, that's what we're going to do here. All right, so it says 6 and negative 2. So I'm going to do this here. And now we're going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. So we're going to go right here. So, Andy, you with me? All right, so I kind of had to make like a little fictitious graph for right now, right? That's 0.6, negative 2. So now we have options. It says, what's the equation of the vertical line? First, the fact that it says vertical means that you're only going to have certain options, right? So it says we have A at y equals negative 2. We have B at y equals 6. We have C at x equals 6. You're going to have to wait. And then we have D. Or have E in one of the twos. Look at it. X equals negative 2. Okay. So now, how this works is that, let's look at A, right? Y equals negative 2. So, Andy, what this says is that it doesn't matter what X is, Y is always going to be negative 2. So that means that you can plot points here where Y is negative 2. So let's just say, for example, now I'm going to have, let's say that's negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. So what I can actually do is that, let's say I want to have a point right on negative 3, negative 2. I have a point right there. Negative 2, right? I want a point on negative 1, negative 2. That's here. I want a point on 1 and negative 2. That's here. I want a point on 4, negative 2. That's there. You see the pattern that we're starting to develop here? Right, so any point that I plot there is going to be on a straight line because y is always negative 2. That's what A says. Y is going to be equal to negative 2. Doesn't matter what x is, y is always negative 2. So I'm going to have a line going right through here. Going through that's sloppy, but it goes through the point. Well, actually, that doesn't go through the point. Let's do it again. There you go. Is that a vertical line going through that point? Is it vertical going through that point? Exactly, right? So that means that anytime you have a y equals, it's going to be a horizontal line. So now, which two options can we just check off right now that don't work? See, I said, what two options? D. Okay, we're not listening to it. Right. So we just said, right? So we're saying that y equals anything is going to be a horizontal line. Y equals is horizontal. This question asks for vertical. So if y is always going to be a horizontal line going through a point, what two options right now do not work? What two options? So okay, so A is one of them exactly, right? So we just proved that A doesn't work. And what's another option, right? So now let's look at it this way. Maybe because I'm saying it, it's not as clear as it should be. So now let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that came out really bad. 4, 5, 6. All right, so look, I'm gonna say this is 6 up here. So, all right, look, Andy, so right here, this is y equals negative 2, right? That's not a vertical line going through that point. Now, the option B says what? Y equals 6. So if it's y equals 6, let's do the same thing. I can go ahead and any point that I want to choose for x, it doesn't matter because y is going to be 6. So I can put a point here at, same ones, at negative 3 and 6 up here. I can put it at a negative 1 and 6 up here. We can go 2 and 6 here. We'll go 4 and 6 here. I can make a straight line through those points. Is that a vertical line going through? Not at all. So we know it's not B, right? This is y equals 6. So we know it's not B. So what are we saying here? Anytime you have y equals, what type of line is that? Yes. There you go. So right away, y equals is going to be a horizontal line. So we know that if you're talking about a vertical line, anything y equals is automatically out of the picture. Now let's look at C and D. Right? Let's look at D right now. So now D says, I'm going to do these in different color just because it's cool. So now D says what? X equals -2. So let's do this one here. So that's 1, 2. So now this says almost kind of the opposite. It doesn't matter what your y is, x is always going to be -2. So now if I can say I want to go -2 and 0 is here, -2 and 2 is here, -2 and 4, -2 and 6, right? So now I have a vertical line, because this is vertical, this goes through x equals -2. Now, does this equation, does that line go through that point over there? So does this line go through this point? Not at all. So it's a vertical line, right? But it doesn't go through the point 6 and -2. But now we see, right? X equals is always going to give you what type of line? Vertical. Y equals is going to be a horizontal. X equals is going to be vertical. So we see that D is incorrect because it is vertical but doesn't go through that point. But now let's look at the last option, option C. X equals 6. So this says here, it doesn't matter what your y is, x is always going to be 6. So I can have the same thing of 6, 0 here. I can have 6, 2 here, 6, 4, 6, 6. Now when I draw that line, does it go through that point? There you go. So that one there has to be C. And that's how that works. Okay, thank you. So now that's chapter 5.5, number 2, looking at horizontal and vertical lines, how those work out. Y equals is always going to be what, Andy? Y equals horizontal. And x equals is what? Vertical. There you go.